I have the immaculate Desiree Conrad here. Wowzers. Okay, she went to med school at UUIC in Chicago and then did a med peds residency in Tulane and then followed up with a pediatric cardiology and adult congenital cardiology fellowships at Stanford. Well, I'll let her take over with chambers, valves, and septae.
Hi, friends. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Good, good, good. All right, let's get started. Give me, whoop. All right. Pull up some extra stuff for me here. All right. Okay. All right. So let's take it all the way back to segmental anatomy. Okay, my anticlimactic thing there, but dun dun dun, taking you guys back to the bane of your existence for cardiology and all of this other stuff. So we're going to talk about situs solitus, AV concordance, VA discordance, D loop, L loop. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that at all, you guys. I believe in kisses. I love kisses, and I believe we should do a KISS principle of keep it short and simple. So as we keep it short and simple, I will reward people with great kisses because I love kisses. All right, let's keep it going. So just for segmental anatomy, just Christina, my esteemed colleague, is going to go over this when we go into our ACHD block. But pretty much just keep it pretty simple. Follow your blood flow. So look at your atria, look at your septum, your venous connections there. Go to your ventricle, your septum, your AV valves, and your semilunar valves. And just as you're moving throughout the heart, think about is things like, are they matching where they're supposed to be, or is something going wrong? But just don't get distracted when they're going wrong. Just kind of have your own little segmental flow. So let's go back through some of these unique characteristics of an atria. So for some of our anatomists or people who love the path lab and all that other stuff in med school, what are some unique characteristics of our right and left atria? Anybody? All right, so we have pretty much your right and left. Someone could have answered with that. You have a pyramid shape for your right, or triangle appendage, that crista terminalis. You're gonna have really thick pectinate walls. You're gonna have the limbus of the fossa valgus. You're gonna have the coronary sinus opening. The venous connections over there are gonna be your SVC and your IVC. And then some of those valves that you're gonna see that kind of tickle in kind of the atrium as well. Now, for the left side, you'll have that little finger-like appendage, a smooth wall, the flap of the fossa valgus, and your pulmonary veins kind of coming in. So again, some of these things that you've kind of seen before, just kind of demonstrating that here. All right, so unique characteristics of an AV valve. Anybody? Corday, yes. Okay, someone gets their first Hershey's Kiss. I didn't play baseball. Hey, okay. All right. So yes, you got some Corday. Anybody else? Yes. Someone said septophilic. Yes. Okay. I can't throw that far. But yes, one of my favorite words, and people are like, what the hell is septophilic? Or what the heck? So yes, that means like, does the papillary muscle attach to the atrium or not? And versus not. So I'm gonna quit punishing you guys. We'll keep it real simple. Christina will go into the the nitty gritty details. But it's simply for keep our KISS principle. You got 3 on the left, 3 on the right, 2 on the left. And then for that septophilic, or that fancy word that we like here, that is just for your tricuspid, that it actually inserts onto the septum, whereas your mitral does not. Now, this is just talking about normal. Christina will talk about when it's abnormal. All right, so for our ventricles, you have, I was hungry this morning. So, usually the right is crescent shaped. You have some coarse trabeculation. You have that moderator band. The left side is more strawberry shaped. It has a smooth surface, and you have some fibrous continuity between your mitral valve and your aortic valve. So also when you're kind of going through your studies and looking through and panning through, make sure that you're kind of looking through the inlet, the trabeculation, the outlet, and kind of how all that is all connecting. I won't get you guys with your D-looped and your L-loops and stuff like that. And then for our semilunar valves, they're gonna be, when normally formed, tri-leaflet here, you're gonna have like your anterior right, right and left on your pulmonary valve, and then your right and left and non on your aortic valve. So, like I said, this is gonna be really simple for the cases and everything like that. What you wanna do is make sure that you're going with the flow, either have a segmental anatomy approach where you're kind of going through your situs, solitus, and all these other things, or you can just kind of go with the flow by just looking at the blood flow and following through that through the through where the blood, like a little red blood cell would go through the heart as you're kind of reading through. Look for different patterns. So look for patterns of things that sometimes are located together geographically, conditions that sometimes go together. So like if you have a bicuspid aortic valve, maybe look for a coarctation and some other things. Remember your important references. That's in terms of your references of how we define these measurements of what we define as normal and other things. Also, like just references of things that are linked together. And then always, always just know that we are all in this together and that, just ask for help. So just go with the flow and don't have any stress about it. So with that said, we will now go to our cases.
Does anyone like strawberries? Maybe some beefy tongues? Yes, this is Kawasaki's. So if you don't get the therapy for Kawasaki's when this happens, you can get an aneurysm. This guy, I really do not know how he's still alive. He has like one tiny hole supplying the rest of his LED and the clouds going over. So you can see his RCA is occluded. His LAD has a giant aneurysm, which I believe the definition of that changes when you become an adult, but he had this since he was a kid. His left circumflex is pretty well preserved compared to everything else, but that's not saying much. Yeah, he is purely going off collaterals from his LAD to his right side. All right, so we're going to show you another one, and we can ignore the lungs. Who cares about the lung?
Yeah, but we're coming through, following our blood flow, following our blood flow.
So what do you guys initially notice? Yeah, we don't care about those. Who does? But like, again, try to establish dominance first. Like, where are your coronaries supposed to be? Go find me your right. Again, I really try to always start with that. When you get systematized, it makes everything flow easy. So have you guys found your coronary arteries? Okay, where's the right? Okay, but where's it coming off of?
Is it coming off your, what great vessel is it coming off of? You're right.
Let's see where it's coming off.
You only have two options. Your coronaries come off of either your aorta or your pulmonary.
Yes. So is it coming off your aorta?
Yes. Okay. Yes. It's a KISS principle, guys. Yes. So it's coming off your aorta. Okay. And now, have y'all been able to find your left? The aorta. So the RCA is coming off the aorta. And here it is here on the screen, you guys. So the RCA is coming off, yes, the aorta here. As you can see. Left. Where's our left?
What is this? This is L-tap.
Yes.